All right, workout worthy, welcome to the Ultimate Pigeon Guide. Pigeon is a yoga pose that is great for flexibility, balance, stability, and posture. It is a great pose to lengthen and strengthen, but also relax. Today we're going to go through the benefits of pigeon. We're going to go through proper alignment and common mistakes, and then we're also going to go through some variations of this pose. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, and use Workout Worthy for effective exercise. Your workouts do not need to be extreme, but you do need to be consistent. And you can always be consistent right here with me. Now, pigeon pose is a great stretch for your hips. Now, if you do have knee problems, hip problems, or any medical condition that prevents you from having a deep hip stretch, you are going to want to avoid this pose. If you need to modify, you can use yoga blocks or a blanket to modify your pigeon. Now we're going to start in a tabletop. Now with pigeon, not only do we stretch our hip flexors, but we also stretch our glutes. This pose helps with posture, especially if you're doing a lot of sitting throughout the day. It helps with your spinal alignment, and it's so good for relaxing. We want to use deep diaphragmatic yoga breaths as we explore our pigeon pose. So let's come into all fours, and we're going to bend our right knee. Your right knee comes underneath, and then your left leg straightens. So you might need to keep your leg a little bit bent, or you can put a yoga block or a blanket underneath your front hip. Now, as you extend, try to keep your hips square. Your back leg is straight with your toe pointed, and you're trying to keep your hips square. We are going to start in a forearm pigeon. So your elbows are right below your shoulders. If this is too low, you can stay up on your hands. But if this feels good, we're going to start on this variation. You can shift your weight just slightly from one side to another to feel where your body needs the stretch the most. But again, try to keep your hips square, your back leg straight, and your front knee bent. Nice deep diaphragmatic breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. This variation is great because you are supported, and it does give you an extra deep stretch through your glute and your hip flexor. Shoulders should be low and relaxed. Your neck is long and lean. And you can stay in this supported forearm pigeon, or we can slowly elongate through the crown of our head, keeping length as we walk our body up. In an extended pigeon, this adds flexibility through your chest and your shoulders, also through your spine. We don't want to force a position. You want to explore what your body needs and utilize just gentle stretching. Once again, try to keep your hips square. You can shift your weight very gently from one side to the other to explore how that stretch changes. Nice deep diaphragmatic yoga breathing as we hold this extended pigeon pose. You can stay here, or the next variation we're going to do is a modified dancer in pigeon. That would be your back leg bending and your opposite arm reaching back towards that leg. In modified dancer in pigeon, it adds a deeper stretch through your back legs, hip flexor, and down the quad. It also adds a stretch to our back, our chest, and shoulder. You can keep your right hand down for support, or for an extra stability challenge, you can reach your arm forward. Breathing in the pose, never holding our breath. Now, if your right hand is lifted, lower it down. If your left leg is bent, lower it down. Our final variation is going to be a forward fold in pigeon. Inhale as you reach through the crown of your head, and then exhale as you elongate, folding forward. Very slowly, And you want to stop where your body needs the stretch the most. Deeper is not always a better stretch. It depends on where you are holding tension. You can lower down to your hands. You can bring your hands underneath your forehead, or you may even extend your arms out straight, resting your forehead on the floor. Nice deep diaphragmatic yoga breathing. Great job. Let's bring our hands back. You're going to flex your back foot, push briefly into a plank, and then let's sink back into an extended child's pose before we do the opposite side. Coming up nice and slow. Let's start on all fours, bending your left knee, extending your right leg. Find pigeon on this side. Our goal is symmetry, but your pigeon poses might be very, very different. Remember, your back leg can stay bent if it needs to. You also can use a prop underneath your left hip if that helps. Once you find your pigeon, you can stay supported higher, or you can come down to a forearm pigeon. Try to keep your hips square. Explore your pigeon pose. You can shift your weight gently to one side and the other. Really exploring where your body needs the stretch the most. Breathing in the pose. You can stay supported in the forearm pigeon variation, or we can elongate through the crown of our head, keeping that length. Slowly walk your upper body, reaching towards the wall in front of you, and then reaching towards the ceiling. Not forcing this movement, but extended pigeon is a great way to deepen that stretch through your glute, through your hip flexor, your back, and your chest. Keep your yoga breath. You can stay in this variation, or we can try the modified dancer in pigeon. Bending your back leg and reaching towards that back leg. Breathing in the pose. Deepening that stretch through your right hip flexor, your right quad, your back, your chest, and your shoulder. Left hand can stay down for support, or if you can stay stable, and it adds benefit without compromising your form. It's a lot harder for me to stabilize on this side. You can lift your left arm up. Breathing, I'm going to keep my left arm down. You want to find the challenge that you need, but breathing in whatever version is best for you. If your left arm is lifted, slowly lower it down for support. If your right leg is bent, slowly extend. Our final variation is our forward fold in pigeon. Inhale as you reach through the crown of your head, feeling that length, and then exhale as you slowly fold forward. You might just go a couple inches, and that is great. If you go farther, listen to your body, stop where you need the stretch the most. You can bring your hands to your forearms, or even extend, resting your forehead on the mat. Nice deep diaphragmatic yoga breaths. And then bringing your hands back for support, flex your right foot, push just briefly into a plank, soften your knees, and sink back into extended child's pose. Let's round up nice and slow. We are done. Fantastic job, workout worthy. Hopefully you now have a great grasp of pigeon pose, the benefits for your body, proper alignment, mistakes to avoid, and variations that you can incorporate into your workout routine. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, come back and join me anytime.